Today we are going over section 29.3, which is about the senses. Our key concept, the senses detect the internal and external environments. Our five senses that you've known about since you were in elementary school, or you should have, are vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. So sense organs. We have organs all throughout our bodies. They gather stimuli and they send it to the nervous system to be interpreted. So our eyes are for sight, our nose is for smell, our ears are for hearing, our tongue is for taste, and our skin is for the sense of touch. Vision is the first one we'll talk about. So light is actually a physical stimulus. The receptors in our eyes are called photoreceptors, which you're going to read about in your pre-lab reading today. But photoreceptors in the eye sense light. There's two photoreceptors that work together. There's rod cells that detect black and white. And they also detect color intensity, whether something's really bright or really dim. And then we have cone cells in our eyes that detect color. So cone is for color. And our eyes see something, send a message to our brain. Hearing. Sound is actual physical stimuli. Sound enters your ear and actually bangs on your eardrum to send a message to your brain. That's how your ear works. You literally have a tiny little drum in your ear. And sound is waves of vibrations coming at that drum, banging on that drum, and then again, hitting a nerve and then sending a message to the brain. Taste and smell. Their receptors are called chemoreceptors because our tongue and our nose sense chemical stimuli. Food is a mixture of chemicals. We learned that way back in chapter 2. Well, smell is too. They're covered in the chemoreceptors, detect chemicals dissolved in fluid. We have saliva in our mouths that dissolve every single thing we put in there, food, drink, whatever, and then turns into its base chemicals in our tongue, full of those chemoreceptors, sends a message to our brain, interprets as different tastes. Touch. Our skin is the biggest organ we have. Every single inch of our body is covered in skin. And this is what senses touch. Our skin has 3 different receptors in our skin that our brain interprets as touch. We have receptors to detect pressure when something is just pushing on our skin. We have pain receptors that detect damaged tissue. We actually have pain receptors inside of our body too, but on our skin we have them. That's where the main ones are. And we have thermoreceptors that detect temperature, hot or cold, or in between. That is it for the senses. We will be starting a lab tomorrow, hopefully.